have to find a way to test the system and be a little bit radical because art emerges always from crisis.
Thank you. Okay. So any more questions? Last call for questions, comments. Ah, I was just over there in your neighborhood.
So I'm Denzel. Dennis. So recently I'm trying to, I do graphic design. I'm trying to maybe pick up on social media. In what way you guys utilize social media to kind of increase the reach so people who don't know you can kind of just find you and work with you and just increase your range across the whole world with social media.
Okay. So for those of you guys who maybe didn't hear his question, he's asking how do we utilize social media as a tool to extend our artistic reach. He mentioned that he's a graphic designer and he's wishing to get some advice on how to extend his reach on social media. I guess for me, it's the same thing I told this young lady here. I think a lot of it is networking and not being afraid to put yourself out there. So the way I look at social media is exactly how I look at talking to people in real life. Is just making sure you talk to people, you know, because you never know who you will meet and how they can help your cause. So if you have the luxury of being on social media, because everyone cannot be on social media and as frequently and have tons of followers. But if you have the privilege to do so, I would encourage you to just follow people you don't know. Follow people who are also in your area of expertise and things that you wish to see. If there's someone online that is doing something that you can see yourself doing, follow them. Study them as much as possible. Reach out to them. A lot of people are accessible through direct message. And even if they're not accessible, you can always watch their posts and their reels and, you know, their statuses and kind of study them just as you would study a book. Social media these days are very similar to books and things and of how we can feel, but definitely network. Network, network, network.
Well, yes, as she said earlier, networking is like the heart of it all. And social media is, I'll say, more powerful than some of us deem it to be. And, I've had instances where I walked into a space where I thought nobody knew me. And then maybe they saw a social media post of you somewhere before and they think they resonate so well with you. So you might never know who is willing to see your stuff. And you said you're a graphic designer, so your work will like stream across like various platforms and different clientele. It could be a logo today, it could be a flyer tomorrow. You never know who's wanting the next billboard design or whatever. So yeah, you just have to also just stay true to yourself. Put out what you want to put out. Obviously, you don't want people to see a bad work you've done. So yeah, you put out a good work, but yeah, let it be what you represent, what you are, what you want to say, what you want to um, bring out. And it would amaze you who wants to see your work and who wants to work with you. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I agree on the, like, you just have to put stuff out. I think we're in such a unique moment where each of us really has the opportunity to create, like, a digital magazine through social media, right? And so, remember that that's also serving as an archive. So even if you post something and it doesn't get as many likes as you might want or shared as often, when you meet people later, they're going to go through your profile and be able to see what you've done before. And it's this really playful opportunity for you to experiment and like, hey, both thought it's important for networking. I can't tell you how many times I've like followed people and then I never talked to them again. Like, it's important to maintain those relationships as well. And to keep in mind, like, word of mouth is very important too.
Yeah, do more free jobs. Yeah. Work with young artists, those who are not relevant, but doing something special, do things for them for free. Because when you become big, you become their source of income. I wanted to add something. It's me. I wanted to add something to what the lovely panelists also mentioned. That all you have to do is start, right? And once you start, try as much as possible to refine the skill set. So, is it tutorial that you're going to watch? Is it someone that you are going to talk to mentor you? Which I am willing to do in case you need a mentor. So, throughout my journey as a graphic designer, like I said, I've done a lot of free jobs for a lot of like, big people and also like startups, right? And also I remember that it would come to a point where you would feel like, okay, you're not doing enough or you're not doing well. And this is where you sometimes want to go back and look at some of your own stuff and then you just be like, okay, this is where I was and this is where I am now. So that in a way should even encourage you to keep going. So all I would say is that yeah, you started, but keep improving. Watch some tutorials, build the skill sets, refine the skill sets, find a niche. Are you going to be a logo designer? Are you going to be a flyer designer? Are you going to be a magazine or a shirt designer? Find that niche and tap into that community. I'm sure when you go on Twitter or when you go on Instagram, when you look at these hashtags, it's a whole community out there that you can reach out to, connect, communicate, reach out to some of these guys. But if possible, try and reach out to the ones that are more or less on your level that you can even equally grow up with. And yeah, just genuinely build that community all around together. So I've seen some of your works. I think it's great, but most definitely I think you are doing great, and you'll get there eventually. So no pressure, you got this. Yeah. Alright, awesome. Roxanne, I'm done.
Okay, cool. I also just want to follow up on the networking because we're about to practice it. So I actually ended up in Kumasi from random networking. So when I was in the States, I was doing some music during the pandemic, and because you can't like do a video or anything when you're quarantined, I just reached out on Instagram to someone to do like a little like cartoon kind of graphic thing for me. And I found an illustrator, actually, mind development manager tonight, but he was on my first panel too. But I reached out to him and he did some artwork for me during the pandemic. And a year later when I moved to Ghana, well actually I didn't plan to move when I just came. I was like, I want to see some art. Let me reach out to that artist that did that artwork that one time over Instagram. And completely became good friends, talked me into visiting Kumasi. I've been here for 3 years. And so it's networking, very powerful. But I want to say that networking is very powerful when you do it based on your authentic interests and your values. Because it can be pointless to network when you're pretending. It can be very stressful to network when you're pretending. So just go where you naturally have interest and get to know those people. So this is a final call for questions because we are going to break and network. And are you guys good? Are you okay? Oh, I have a question over there. Did you guys, wait, did you?
Thank you. I'm Samuel. Actually, this is a question, but a contribution. So recently, let's say about a year ago, I started working with on a project that is agribusiness or like into agriculture with the UNDP. I'm an artist and I school Dr. Buma is my lecturer here out here, and he has like he's like a mentor to me. So basically, I started this project with the UNDP, and um, we've been having a section of presentation as to address some issues in our country, let's Ghana, especially because agriculture is actually one of the major sectors we have in our country. And as to how to resolve issues, because we also have problems with it, especially with the agro aspect and the business aspect of it. So this UNDP project is looking at young Africans who are with innovative skills and then can come up with solutions to such problems that we're facing. So with some presentations that we've had, and then let's see with me in particular, I also fill the forms, and then I remember me issuing my details. So like my supervisor would ask, my boss would ask, are you an artist? Are you an artist? Or are you facing artist? Yes, I'm an artist. And she said, I thought you were into agriculture. And I said, no. All I have interest in agriculture, but I'm an artist. And he said, so how come your things are different from the artist? I actually, let's say there is a shortlist, so they will select innovative Africans, and then they will shortlist them to get the best out of them. And with Central Region, we selected three. The shortlist, we selected three, and then that was part of them. And my supervisor would say, I can see you're into agric. So how come an artist, and then now your education is something different? So I have to look back and remember when we came right into first year, the teachings and everything. So like we were lost because we had a perception of this is how art should be. But then along the line, second year, third year, we start to get some understanding, a some understanding that art is quite different from what we knew outside. So we knew, for instance, after the presentation and session that we had, now my colleague that I'm working with my team, they now want to come join me on campus. So our space at campus, we call it Prjct. Yeah, and then they also pursue engineering from KNSP, some did environmental science and electrical engineering. They also have it another. But now day in, day out, they do join me at Prjct, and that's Alice and Dima. They'll say, this is a very nice community, and then when it's like, when time is up for them to leave, they still don't want to leave. They still want to like remain in Prjct, and then they come to like art so much. So I guess like I say, for me in my family, I'm the only one pursuing art. But after the experience I've been here, now it's like everyone's when they just know it's like everyone wants to come and show art, and even my friends. But I'll say art is something special, and then it's now I'll say in Ghana, that's the main kind of a background. I have some perception of I should be less people painting and making sculpture, but then I came to realize that art is more than just painting and sculpture. So I'm very grateful, let's see. And then wherever, let's see, I get an opportunity, I'll say thank you to Dr. Buma. He's really helped us. And then, yeah.
Thank you. So we're going to do final thoughts from our panelists. If you can give any good advice, any last word, anything you wanted to share.
Well, basically, we're talking about human power of art, so yeah, we talk about that. As I said earlier, art is very intriguing. You musicians who just did music and they didn't know how far it was going to go, but now they're like world stars. Like Jackie. The first time Jackie played me her music, I'm like, you really want to do music? Like, yeah, serious. Like, oh yeah, I'm serious. So I was like, joke that I'm going to do music. And she plays me her first song, Lava Street, and I'm like, whoa. This is like, you're ready to do a thing. And yeah, as I said, I don't see why I'm going to do something that is not good. So like, I'll pursue you, give you all the help I can help with, but like, now her songs are literally healing people. She played something else you can see and Tammy was saying how much her music has resonated with them, and you see, but I'm sure when she was sitting down writing the music, she was writing some boy that broke her heart or something like that. But she did somebody saying how much yeah, as of like as I was saying with my images, I don't know. I can take a picture of my phone and then get somewhere different, and they're like, ah, what camera did you use? I'm like, oh no, I use my phone. You're joking. Then I'm like, oh, why do you think that? Like, it looks like a picture that was taken with a professional camera, and then I think this about that, and I think that's about it. And I'm like, okay. I didn't have that similar sentiment, but I'm glad today you are feeling such a sentiment for it. So yeah, whatever you do, I think even like an artist who paints, I don't paint, if I could paint you, I think all of you. I could paint all of you. Yeah, because I know that one thing I know is like when they are painting, every stroke is a feeling. Every color they choose represents something. Every, like if you're a sculpture, every mold you do has what made you mold it in that direction. Yeah, so yeah. Charlie, do your best. Art can be produce your best or qualities. You don't know where your work will get you. I never knew my work would travel. Like I knew that I might travel and then show them that oh I took this picture or I took this picture here. But I didn't know like I never thought I would do exhibitions, and then now I have my a whole collection donated to another country's national collection. That's like a good faith, and it wasn't orchestrated. So arts liberate, arts does a lot of things. So yeah, do your best form of art. Thank you.
Thank you, Roseanne, for putting this up. Thank you all panel members. It was lovely sharing this moment with all of you. The one word I just want to leave with you guys is that sacrifice is everything. Keep on sacrificing. And I'm glad I love working with young people. Some of the young people I work in church are now the directors or CEOs of this place. I have Kofi here, I have JP running this whole place, and I have students that we've worked with doing some amazing things. I can't mention all their names, they are all over the world. But Kumasi is a special place. For many, many years, one of the top museums in the world, or even in Africa, was here. And I think that collectively, if we keep sacrificing and working hard, Kumasi will become a very powerful place for culture, not just in the traditional sense, but also within the contemporary. So whatever you are doing, never stop sacrificing. It hurts. You feel rejected many times when you do it, but it's one of the best routes to birth something special, which is endless. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's such a blessing to be here and so special. What I would like to offer is the importance of imagination. Like, really ask yourself, okay, if I were going to create art, what would I do? And just do it. Or if you're unhappy in your job or in your major or your career, asking yourself, okay, if I was going to switch, what would I do? And so many more times than you would think that is possible, but you have to be willing to ask yourself that, to imagine it, and then to figure out how to make it happen.
I would like to officially say thank you to Prjct Kumasi and Social Therapy for this forum. It's such a pleasure and such an honor to be able to do. As I said earlier, I really try to ensure that when I do come back home, that I am connecting to the art spaces when I'm here and when I'm away. And so what I would like to offer is exactly that. I know I may not get a chance to see and talk to everyone tonight, but I do want to stay connected to everyone, and my door is open for any ideas, any collaborations, anything that you have that could work in the scope of mental health, art, Kumasi, all things Kumasi, honestly. And I will ensure to give you all of my contacts before we leave here today. But also, feel free to come up to me after this is done. I'll stick around for a little bit And I'll be happy to talk to you guys and to connect to you guys. And for those who also aren't here, but are getting this message via whatever else, the offer is still open to you guys as well. And it was such a pleasure being on the panel with you guys. You guys are amazing, so thank you.
Can you share your contact? Because I'm going to close out and then we'll just network.
Okay.
So go ahead and share.
All right. So again, my name is Hazel. Everyone knows me by Hayes or Black Hayes. In Ghana, my house name is